Hi. Um, my name is Wendy, and this is the first vlog type video that I have made in many years. Like a lot of years. My YouTube channel goes back to 2006. It hosts a variety of my topics, from Christianity to my tarantula collection. But today we're talking about something that goes back to the very beginning of my videos, which is the obesity epidemic in America. You would think, after making a series of videos about obesity, that I would have learned something. Apparently not, because my weight still goes up and down, which proves just talking about it is not enough to affect change. So I'm going to skip forward so that I don't tell long stories about things. This video is probably more for myself than it is for anyone on the internet. But I'm going to post it anyway because I feel that contributing to the knowledge the world has available about this problem, keeping fresh updated videos on YouTube about the issue, a lot of the ones is important. A lot of the ones I've been researching have been tremendously helpful, but many of them are several years old. And I will tell you right now, if you're planning on responding to the video, I'm extremely busy and I rarely have time for the comments. So please don't be offended if I don't directly respond. It's nothing against you personally. It's just I have a very busy life, and I don't know, maybe that will change in the future. Maybe I'll start looking to the videos and comments for some support. I'm going to be going through a lot of changes because I decided to have weight loss surgery. And that has been a long road. I have been toying with weight loss surgery for about 15 years. Sorry, that's my air conditioner coming on. Let me just turn that off. Okay, it doesn't want to turn off, but it'll go off in a second. I am 44 years old and I live in Florida. I've never been married, and I've never had any children, and I've never lived with a man. The lived with a man part is by choice. It's not that I've never had any relationships, but there are a lot of things that affect my life about weight loss. Not about weight loss, but about being the size. I, earlier this year, I think in February 2015, earlier this year, it's currently October 2015, I got on the scale at the doctor's office and I weighed 397 pounds. And I saw that I was about to tip over to the next benchmark. And I knew that could not happen for me for many reasons. But I was already completely miserable in my skin. I do suffer from depression and have suffered from depression almost my entire life, since I was about 9 years old and we left Hawaii, 1980, August 1980. I've been depressed in one way or another since then. My weight has always been an issue. I can remember in the second grade being 80 pounds and the rest of the other kids were 40 pounds. So there's so many reasons, but I don't want to go into that right now. I want to make sure I document this and how I feel, because I don't ever want to be in this place again. Now currently, as of this morning, I weigh 370 pounds because I have lost some weight preparing for the surgery. Starting last year, when my nephew, my great nephew I should say, was born, I decided that I needed to stop smoking. I actually didn't start smoking until I was 33, and even then I only smoked clove cigarettes. And even then, it was several years before I smoked them daily. I mean, it was just sort of an on-off thing for boredom or whatever. And eventually became a daily thing. It took several years to get there, and I never have liked regular cigarettes, only cloves. So I quit cigarettes last year. I was on a lot of pain medication for my back and hips and legs, all having issues, largely weight related, some of it kidney stones. And I got myself off of all of that. I got myself off of Lexapro, which is, in my opinion, the best anti-anxiety / depression drug you could possibly take if your body can tolerate it. I had a physician once who called it the happy pill. And I felt I was mature enough that I was ready to handle life's issues and mentally wrestle them down. And that's exactly what I've done, is I've mentally wrestled it down. I'm deliberately not wearing makeup in this video other than a little bit of powder to for my splotchiness, but no makeup. I have not had a serious relationship in about 8 or 9 years. I date once in a while, but I'm so revolted by my own body that I just don't want to put in the work it will take to find someone willing to have me. I know I could find someone, but a person, more often than not, when you're my size, you are getting people that can't get a normal sized person for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have a job, maybe they're shifty, maybe they're a decent person, but you just, I don't know. It's not to say I've never dated anyone decent. I've dated a lot of really great guys. I've even had a few relationships with some fantastic men in my life. You know, I am 44, so I have dated some. But in the past 10 years, my weight went from hovering around the 300 mark to 350, then the 370s, and now I'm about to go over 400, and I just can't. I can't do it. And I have people telling me I should get the bypass. I have people telling me I shouldn't. And for anyone who thinks this is the easy option, no, my friend. It's the nuclear option. It's the option you take when you've exhausted everything else. And I'm not really going to go into all of the whys about it, except to say it's a personal decision. And it has been many years of soul searching for me to make it. I actually was approved for the surgery about 7 years ago, but I just mentally could not go through with it. I wasn't ready to give up food. I wasn't ready to do what it took. And in some ways I'm sorry, but in some ways I'm not. I can tell you I have pretty much hit bottom. My back hurts all the time. I can't walk very far. When you're almost 400 pounds, just sitting in a chair sometimes can be painful. My interaction with other people has been affected. I remember even at 300 pounds, I was still pretty confident. I was very outgoing and engaging, and there was a light that shone from my eyes, a joy. And even in my depressive phases, there was a joy and a light because of Christ. But unless you've been here, unless you have walked in a body that weighs 400 pounds or even 300 pounds, you do not know what it's like. You don't. Because being 20, 40, 50 pounds overweight is not at all what 100, 200, 250 pounds overweight looks like. There are people with bigger bodies than me, and I don't even know how they manage it, because I can barely manage me. I've got 2 aging parents that I'm taking care of, and I'm finding my body's not allowing me to do what I used to be able to do. And I'm sad a lot, and I don't talk a lot. I used to talk quite a bit and have things to say and conversations, and I felt I was an interesting person. And in the past 8 years that I've come to take care of my parents, I feel that I have become an extremely boring person, and I have nothing to say most of the time. I have nothing to say because I'm not participating too much in life. I get up, I go to work, I come home, I sleep, and I repeat the cycle the next day. There is very little that I do in my life that I would say is fun or whatnot. I also had to put down my dog a couple of months ago. She was old, and I'd had her for about 11 years. She was 9 months old when I got her, and she was an English bulldog, and I loved her so much, and I still can't really talk about it, but I was very proud of myself for not going off the deep end after that. I don't have any other addiction issues that I know of as far as alcohol or smoking and food was about it. I want to make sure that I remember the misery of being this weight, because it is a miserable existence. Let's talk about the social aspect of it. When I'm walking somewhere in public and I pass somebody, I've noticed that my eyes go to the ground or to the side, and I do everything in my power not to make eye contact. I'm capable of socializing and faking it till you make it, like in an elevator where you're trapped with people and the silence pops in. I am usually the person to make a conversation, and I used to do it all the time. But my life is just kind of sad. It's kind of sad and unhappy. And I don't have the kind of depression where you sit down and you are like, woe is me, the world is against me, blah, 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 blah. I have the kind of depression where you don't look at that part, but you feel sad all the time. And I'm a hermit. I live in a 32-foot travel trailer, and I have for 8 years. It's a little bit gutted and renovated so that it's more like an apartment. And I actually like it. I don't mind too badly. But it's so small, the whole thing is like a bedroom, so you don't have people over really. So for 8 years, I haven't had anyone over to my place. And I don't want to go out places because I'm huge. I'm at the point where I'm having trouble fitting into the booths at restaurants, and I don't like sitting at the table because chairs are uncomfortable to me in almost every scenario. A couple of years ago, I noticed that the way small children look at me has changed. It used to be, they never looked at me any differently, even at 300 pounds, but at, passing 350, children stare at me. I'm not used to that. I'm not an unattractive person. You can't really tell that right now because my hair is, Lord, I don't even know what my hair is doing. And I got a ginormous double chin. You can see in my face how fat I am. And most of the time, like people talk about feeling invisible. I am definitely invisible. I'm invisible. Men don't see me like they see other women. I don't know that I'd know what to do if a man did see me like they see other women. I hear women talk about all the time how, they go out somewhere and men are just all over them, and I'm just like, that's never happened to me. I'm like I'm the I'm the girl you go home with at 2 a.m. at the bar when all the hot chicks have left. I'm the bottom of the barrel on the female side. Not because of my personality, but because of my appearance. Actually, I have a great personality. I'm one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And I have a lot of integrity and character and wonderful things about myself. But the packaging's a problem. And I will tell you something else that I have discovered. It used to really make me angry that men would turn away fat women. I never understood it. But now that I'm older, and I've dated fat guys too, so I'm equal opportunity. But the thing that I've come to realize is how unhealthy weight is. I mean, I've been in denial for a long time about that, but it's extremely unhealthy to be this weight. If I don't have the surgery and I don't drop the weight, I'm looking at a lot of health complications because there's cancer on both sides of my family and there's heart disease in both sides of my family. More than likely food-related heart disease. The past 11 days, I've been on a liquid diet. I can tell you without a doubt, this is the most difficult thing I've ever done is this liquid diet. And I am stunned that I've been able to go through the whole thing without cheating. There were a couple of days that for whatever reason, I wanted some chicken wings so bad I couldn't stand it. I could not stand it. So I go in for surgery on Tuesday, which is the day after tomorrow. Tomorrow I am not working. I took the entire week off, but I'm going to have a very short recovery. I must return to work the following Monday. Whereas I just don't have enough PTO for more than that. I'm frankly shocked I got as much PTO as I did. Do I hide behind my fat? I probably do. But it's to the point now where I'm so desperate not to be in pain all the time from the crushing weight of my own body that you're prepared to do almost anything. don't even like making this video because I see myself on the screen and I can see the fat around my face and everything else, and I'm just like, ugh, you are not beautiful. You cannot any longer hide what you are. You can't. I'd like to, but I can't. So I actually look quite a bit better with makeup, but I want this to be real and raw, and I want an accurate representation of what I look like when nothing's really being done to me other than soap and water, some lotion on my face, a little bit of powder, and that's it. I realize this video is incredibly rambly. Like I said, it's probably for nobody other than me. I'll probably post it, but maybe not till after the surgery. Maybe I need to make sure that the surgery is going to happen. You know, something doesn't get delayed or doesn't happen for some reason, which would be terrible because this liquid diet is the worst thing. It's the worst thing. It's so horrible. What I hope to get out of it is the ability to move. I want to walk without pain. Just walk, you know, walk from the car to the building without my back hurting or my legs hurting or being completely exhausted by a 5-minute walk. I don't want to have to go up the stairs very slowly, one step at a time. I'm tired of watching people pass me on the sidewalk because I'm so slow, and sometimes I even limp, and that's another reason I haven't started any relationships, as I don't know that I feel that it's fair to start a relationship with someone when I am so broken in body. It's one thing if you meet somebody where, or you've got a friend and it turns into a relationship, but like blind dating is all I know. Almost every boyfriend I've ever had, not everyone, I think there was one that I met somewhere without it being a blind date, and we were friends for a while, and it became a nice relationship. One of the best boyfriends I ever had, actually. But almost everything else has started as a blind date from online or whatnot. And it would be really nice to go out and not know anything about somebody and be able to figure it out on the date, you know, have stuff to talk about. Go out and do something together, make memories together. There's, right now, I don't know, all of my family get-togethers, old dates, it all revolves around food. Everything in our society revolves around food. I pass signs for food. I literally, there is this one stretch, and I'm going to take video of it at some point. You go, when you get off the interstate to go to my job, there's like 2 miles you have to go between the interstate and my building. And in that stretch, there are over 50 restaurants. I am not even joking, probably because I live in a college town. Well, I work in a college town. I don't live in a college town. I live in a little town on the outskirts of the college town. And, yeah. I just want to be able to move without pain, and at my age, I'm probably going to have massive amounts of loose skin. I'll moisturize and do what I can to keep it down to a minimum. But I'm not even really concerned about dating or anything, because if it happens, it happens. But I kind of feel I missed all of my opportunities for love and for... I really wanted a kid or two in this life. I wanted a family of my own. I wanted a husband and a child or two, and to build a life and a family with someone. That's what I wanted since I was a kid. I didn't want the career or the money or fame or fortune. I didn't want any of those things. I wanted to be a housewife. I wanted to stay home and take care of the home. I don't know if I could do that anymore. Maybe, maybe not. But, I wanted to build a home with the kids, and it just didn't happen for me. And I am almost 100% certain it's because of my weight. I'm incredibly blessed that my company will pay for this surgery, my insurance company. Back in the day when I had tried to have it in my 20s, I couldn't get the insurance to do it. Then in my 30s, the insurance company would do it, but I wasn't ready. And now that I'm in my 40s, I'm ready to have it. And it might be that maybe I'll meet somebody great after the surgery. I don't know. But, life is hard. And it's sad. It's repetitive. And there's not really a whole lot of reason to get up in the morning other than to take care of my family, my parents, in their golden years. Other than that, I don't really know why I'm here or what purpose there is for me in this world. Do I think losing the weight is going to solve all the problems? No, I don't. I think it's going to open new opportunities. I think it could change the way I feel about myself. And because I will feel differently about myself, it'll give me more confidence, which will attract other people and open new doors for new experiences. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to go to the gym, and I'm hoping to be able to look people in the eye when I pass them and not drop my gaze to the ground like a second-class citizen. I'm hoping not to be invisible. There's fat, and then there's super fat, and there's obese, morbidly obese, and then super morbidly obese. I'm 5'7". According to the official structures, I should be weighing 130 pounds. I weigh 370. So right now, as of today, I have 240 pounds to lose. I weigh almost 3 times what I should weigh. A couple months ago, I did weigh 3 times what I should weigh. That in itself is very depressing. But I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget this. I want this so that I can go back to it. Remember what I felt like on this day, this Sunday, 2 days before my surgery. How hard it is and how sad it is. So that's my documentation. I've probably repeated myself several times in this video. And I'm probably going to title it Fat Lady Talks About the Misery of Super Morbid Obesity. Because you see me from the shoulders up, maybe I don't look like I'm that bad, but I weigh 370 pounds. I don't want people at work to know that I weigh 370 pounds. I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of it. But I mean, they look at me, they know I'm ginormously huge. I mean, it's not like they don't know. I am ashamed of it. I'm not blaming anybody but me. Certainly there are a lot of factors involved. Many factors involved. Some of them societal, some of them emotional and mental and environmental. But at the end of the day, I'm the person that opens my mouth and stuffs food inside. And it's not even as much about, I think, overeating as it is about eating the wrong foods. We live in a society, people vilify processed foods, but it's also the reason we don't have people dropping dead in the streets. We don't have the starvation issues of the Great Depression of the 20s, the turn of the last century. 100 years ago, you know, people did die from starvation. Obesity is, I hate it when they call it a disease. It's not like I, got somebody else's blood on me and caught obesity. This is a mental issue. But the ramifications permeate every aspect of your life. And that's just how it is. So, that's my video. It's for myself. And some hard truths. And that's all I got to say for now. So, I'll make some more as time goes on.